Um, shall we go to number 4?
Go right on.
All right, number 4 for me, a guy you just previously mentioned. I've got Joe Cannon. So for me, Joe Cannon, like you said, I don't want to tack on too much because I think you covered it pretty well. Phenomenal career, very long career, played on a number of squads. So, like you said, yeah, you can't just use like the excuse of, oh, he has a really strong defense in front of him. Uh, One of the goalkeepers towards the top that I kind of group into this conversation of, okay, strong numbers, plus he played a ton of games over like a number of seasons in this league. Um, that's kind of the reason I had him above Onstad and Blake, is because it just in sheer numbers rather than just like per 90 or per season, he has much more than them because he's played so many more seasons than them. And while that should definitely be taken into account, if you look at it season by season, I do want to also give credit for being able to play for such a long time and have that longevity. Like you mentioned for Luis Robles and that Ironman record that he has, and being able to play so many consecutive games. Like, it should definitely be considered if you're just kind of looking at a season by season basis, like a guy that's only played 6 seasons versus someone who's played 14. But credit should also be due to a guy that is able to play at a high level for so many seasons. So he was on my top 10 list 9 times, in which he had 2 goalkeeper of the years. I believe he had a season where he was a finalist for the MVP award, and he has an MLS Cup. So a little bit lower than the guys ahead of him, because for me, the seasons he was on here, the silverware wasn't really high. I mean, individual awards, obviously getting 2 is fantastic, but only 1 MLS Cup is a bit lower than the guys I have ahead of him. But yeah, his longevity is what put me above. What made me put him above Pat Onstad and Andre Blake.
Yeah, we're just flip flopping people because number 4, I've got current Philadelphia Union goalkeeper Andre Blake, who you had at 6, where I had Joe Cannon.
Yep.
Hit 3 goalkeeper of the year awards in like 5 years, or was it 1, 2
I
in
think he only had
7 years? 7
yeah.
years. All right, so a little bit more spread out than I thought. However, 3. It's more than anybody else has ever had, regardless of how many years you played, regardless of how many teams you played on. He won 3 of them. That hasn't been done ever. Right there, to me, that's an instant argument that he could be at least top 3, maybe even number 1. People can argue that, and I would hear him out. But I do feel weird putting somebody who hasn't finished their career that high. However, he's definitely top 5 for me. He's been in the league 9 years already. It feels like I remember him being drafted yesterday. 3 goalkeeper of the years in 9 years. Supporter Shield. 234 games, 32.5% clean sheet percentage. 33% every third game. Clean sheet. Top 5. 27% PK save percentage. He's low on the number of saves and the save percentage. 674, again, only in 9 years with a good defense in front of him. 70.8%. That's 14. On the list, so right in the middle. 3 goalkeeper of the years we mentioned. 2 more second place finishes, so that's 5. And no more outside of that. But 5 of his 9 years, more than half the time he's been playing for, he's been a top 2 goalkeeper. Top 2, not a top 5. He's been a top 2 goalkeeper for more than half of the time he's been here. Based on, again, I don't know how those guys are picked, but that right there bumps him higher than Cannon for me, because it wasn't top 5. It wasn't anything like that. His top 5 in clean sheet percentage, and he's more than half of his time in the league so far, he's a top 2 goalkeeper every season. And then again, doing what nobody else has done, 3 goalkeeper of the year.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with you too much on it. I mean, he's phenomenal. He's the best goalkeeper I would say that we've seen. Like in terms of modern day MLS. he's the best, and I don't think there's a conversation on that one.
Oh yeah.
Um, where do you think he'll finish by the time he's done? Considering like don't take into account like any potential injuries in the future or something like that, but do you think he'll be in that conversation for number one? Or do you think it will even be a conversation by the time he's done?
Like by the time he's done, I don't think anybody else catches him. So where he's at now, he will have it for a while. However, again, goalkeepers, American soccer transfer market. I mean, we're going to get more goalkeepers, better goalkeepers here. The game's going to get better. He won't be there forever, but for a long time, I think he will end up as the number one goalkeeper in MLS history. It's
I
just good.
I was gonna say I have to agree.
Yeah, it's just like I said. I think what you're seeing is the gap between the players that are like on his level right now in terms of longevity, the Stefan Fries, the um, Tim Melia, I guess you could throw in there. Good, not Andre Blake, right? So now you have to wait for the new crop of players, the Roman Solitanos, the
Well, now, so to your point there, it's a new age MLS. I think there have been guys who would easily be in the conversation with Blake, but they get sold because we're a selling league now.
ah,
Full full career Gaga Slanina in this league, I think absolutely is in the conversation with Blake. I
ooh, I
think
like that.
I think more years of Stefan and Turner in this. I don't know if they get to Blake's level. I mean, they could. But yeah, I think they'd be in the conversation as well. But as I said, it's just, it's a selling league now. So if you're good, you're sold, and you don't get to have the longevity of Blake or these other guys from the past.
Fair, and the flip side of that too is Andre Blake's nationality hurts him. European teams don't come after Jamaican players because of whatever, and we talked about that 2 years ago, I think, about the transfer rule based off of how many national or how where your national team is ranked versus how many games you've played, and then some ratio, and you need to get a work visa for a certain amount. It's a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
If he's American, he's gone like
Oh yeah,
6 years ago.
as he
So
should.
yeah,
He's
and
good
and
enough for Europe.
absolutely, he's at that level, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so again, he will definitely go down as the best of the best, I think. However, probably should have been gone a long time ago, and European rules are stupid. Salary cap for Europe, hashtag salary cap for Europe,
Hashtag remove Pro from Europe.
hashtag implement the super draft in every league known to man.
What's the other hashtag? Hashtag European murder pyramid or something like that.
Yes, hashtag European nobody gets a chance pyramid. Except if you European, you need to pay $400 million a season to have a chance pyramid.